Hey y'all, welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Chanina. Hey girl, hey. So first things first, let's get this out the way, y'all. Video not sponsored. Arise does not sponsor my videos. I know I have a whole playlist of videos talking about Arise, and honestly, it's only because I want to share the information with you guys. No one is paying me to do so, okay? So let's just jump into it, y'all. We're just gonna do a casual chit chat about Arise because I was sitting here and I was like, do I want to get all professional with it? No, because I just want to go with my natural thoughts, my natural feelings, and just be myself, girl. I just want to be comfortable, okay? So, y'all, if you're new to the channel, I am a work from home mom. I do service calls on the Arise platform. I've been doing it since 2016, and I am greatly appreciative because I came into this platform at a time where I was in between jobs. I had just had a baby. I had just had Olivia, and I used to work at Piccadilly. And when it was time for me to come back to Piccadilly on my off my maternity leave, they ended up closing. Well, actually, what happened was they did call me back and say, well, first they told me that they didn't have any positions for me because what I was doing, it needed to be filled ASAP. I used to work in the back of the house in the kitchen and stuff on the salad and bake side, or baked good side. So I slid into that position. Um, you know, because the person that was in the position was leaving. So I was already working there doing something else, and then they needed help. I said, hey, give me a chance. And they went on ahead and slid me in that position, and I became permanent. Well, that particular position can't go empty for too long because I'm doing salads, I'm making the pies, the cakes, the all that stuff, right? So they had to put somebody there. So when it was time for me to come back, they basically didn't have a spot for me because I was also doing waitressing there, and then I was on the line. So, like, if you guys are familiar with how Piccadilly works, it's like a cafeteria style restaurant. You go through a line and you pick out your meat, your sides, your veggies, all that stuff, right? Or your desserts and all that. So, I would be that person hooking your plate up, right? That's how I started. So, I was doing those three things, working there. I was in those three positions. So, of course, they had to fill those while I was gone. And what ended up happening was when it was time for me to come back, because they didn't have a spot for me, they initially told me that that they didn't have a spot for me, right? But then they called me back a week later to come, and then I was prepared to come back, and then a couple days later they just ended up closing the whole building. So there was no Piccadilly to go to because it was closed, right? So I ended up without a job. I had a newborn. I was getting unemployment because I was on maternity leave, and that was going to end because it was time for me to go back to work, and I had to figure out something. So I started back into dipping into like multi-level marketing type of businesses, direct sales. I was doing that for a little bit. The last one that I did was actually, believe it or not, Total Life Changes, which is trending now. But back then, when they were new. Okay, so I had started with them back when they were fresh on the scene, and then I decided not to do it anymore because with businesses like that, it does come with an investment. You have to purchase products, stuff like that, in order to and put a certain amount of order in, money wise, in order to stay active. All of that. I was even doing Avon, girl. I was doing all the things. Then I discovered eBay. I came across the eBay reseller community here on YouTube, and I got into that, learned more about that, started listing stuff, and I was making money that way. Well, it wasn't a whole lot of money. I think the best year that I had with eBay, I did that for a few years, and my best year was my first year around the holidays. You know, everybody's Christmas shopping, right? And that's like the most money I've ever made on eBay. So when that kind of died down, I needed something else. So what happened was I went to my brother's baby shower. He was having Isaiah at the time, right? Is one of my nephews. So he was having Isaiah at the time. So I went to the baby shower, and it was Isaiah or Michaela. It was one of the two. It was either Isaiah or Michaela. But anyway, I went to the baby shower, and my brother, they were already IBOs. They already had their own virtual call center. So he was like, tell me about it, which it wasn't my first time hearing about it, but I've never heard about it from someone that I knew personally. I always saw information about it online. So he was telling me about it or whatnot, and by the time that baby shower was over with, I registered to the platform, enrolled in my first client that I serviced, and it was on and popping from there. And I've been doing it ever since. I started off with the theme park client. My second client was a cruise client, and now I'm working a different cruise client. So I've been on the platform for quite a bit, so I've had the opportunity to see both ends of it, the consumer side of it, where you're actually going on there and shopping for a client to provide services to, you're paying the money and all that. And then I have the perspective of the actual IBO, because that's what I am now. I serviced on the platform as just an agent working under their call center. And then when we moved over into this apartment, which was about 3 years ago, or coming up on 3 years ago, I decided to transition and become my own IBO, setting up my own LLC for my business, and then partnering with Arise, because I saw the potential in the potential in it from the standpoint of making additional income, right? So this platform has been around a long time, and that's why I talk about it a lot, because it has actually worked for me and my family. And I don't know anybody who does not want to make additional income or need some type of side hustle, whether it be a full-time or a part-time side hustle. I don't know anyone who isn't looking for that. So that's why I always share it with you guys. So that's why I'm saying it's not sponsored. I just want to share it with you. But in today's video, we're just going to go over some general information. I haven't done a general information video in a while. I normally do those about once a year, and then throughout the year, I just go over the clients that are available and how much it costs and all that. But in this video, it's just going to be casual, general conversation, y'all. So this Arise Virtual Solutions platform is not the only platform. There are others like it. So if you've heard of like Live Ops or Work at Home Solutions, I believe that's what it's called, and other companies, there's so many other companies that are similar to this. You might be familiar with those. ACD, I think, is another one. ACD Direct is another platform that's similar to Arise. There are some major differences. Some of the platforms you're not able to recruit and bring in agents to service under your call center. This happens to be one that does, right? So with that being said, there is 3 ways to register to the platform. I do have a whole video that talks about that, but we'll kind of just briefly go over it. So the first way is sole proprietor. That's you basically wanting to work directly with the Rise. You don't want to service under another call center, nor do you want to start your own call center. That's a good option for you. If you are somebody that just wants to go to work, you don't want to worry about the administrative side of it, so like your payroll and all that extra stuff. If you don't want to be responsible for none of that, and you just want to clock in and work every day, then registering under a call center that's within the network is a good option for you. If you are an entrepreneur, you're somebody who wants to start a business going into 2023, you want to start your own virtual call center, recruit agents, or bring on, or onboard is what I would like to say, onboard agents to service on your behalf of your own call center, that's option number 3. So to register to the platform doesn't cost anything, y'all. Like, it doesn't, I don't know if some people think that there's a fee to register to the platform and create an account. There is no fee, no nothing, right? You're just creating an account to a private platform. So that's what this basically is. There is a general website if you want to find general information about the platform, riseworkfromhome.com. However, to see what clients are actually on the platform, to see who's looking to fill work from home call center positions, specifically, you would have to register and create an account with the platform, right? So the different types of client programs that are on this platform are pretty interesting, because believe it or not, these are companies that we all shop with regularly, right? We all go to different home improvement stores. A lot of us go on vacations to different theme parks. A lot of us go on cruises, all the things. So that's the type of clients that are on this platform. We have high-end luxury clients, pharmacy clients, non-emergency medical clients, different cruise companies, theme park, fitness. I think I just said that. There's all types. And how it works is you basically register to the platform, right? And then you get to see all of the different companies that are looking for agents. And there's a client assessment that you'll be able to take, and you only have to take it if you pass it. You only have to take it every 6 months, I believe. Where it used to be you had to take it every time you enrolled in a class. So that's one major change that I can appreciate, because it is kind of annoying when you're enrolling into a class and then you've got to take this long test to see if you can even do it. And then, nobody wants to do all that every single time, right? So I'm glad they changed that. And you take it when you enroll into a course, and it's good for like 6 months, I think, or something like that. And then you take it again. And it's really not a hard assessment. If you've ever applied for a job and you had to take a job assessment, it's very similar to that. There's like scenario questions, like what would you do? What would you not do? How would you handle this call? Uh, your pronunciation, not pronunciation, but being able to understand different conversations. They want to make sure, because a lot of this is done with a headset, so they want to make sure they can understand you, your English and all that stuff. So it's just a general job assessment. So it's really not nothing to be intimidated by, especially if you've taken job assessments for other types of jobs in the past, right? And if we've filled out an application online, you all should know what I'm talking about. There's normally like some long assessment that's asking you a bunch of questions. How would you handle this situation and all of that? The only difference with this assessment is, instead of it just being, it's not only on your computer, but it's through your headset. So there are times where you'll have to actually speak into the headset during a certain section of the client assessment. So that doesn't cost anything either. So one of the major changes that they made to the platform, you guys, that I am super excited about for so many reasons, is the course cost. Okay, if you guys are not new to the channel, you've seen a dozen of my videos where I'm going over the different opportunities that are available, how much they cost, when the deadline is to enroll, when you start getting paid, all that. I normally do all that, right? Today we'll need to do all that because all of the classes are free. Okay, and at first I thought it was just like a temporary thing, like they normally do around the holidays, but it's not. It's like an ongoing thing. So that's good in my opinion for so many reasons, because before that, and this just took place like let's see, what's today's date? So like 10 days ago. It took place starting July 18th, right? From the consumer side of it, it's exciting because now that eliminates that question of why do I have to pay to work? That eliminates me figuring out if I even have enough to pay for the class. What happens to my money if I decide the class isn't for me? Do I get a refund? Which the answer was no. So anybody that enrolled in a course, if you decided that it wasn't for you for whatever reason, you did not get your money back, right? And these classes before then, up till they made them free, were ranging between like 20 to almost $200, right? There were times where they would be less than $10. It just depends. You had to catch it, So that is a good thing for the consumer. On the IBO side of it, because I am an IBO, I do have my own virtual call center within the network. So from my perspective, that's even better for me, because now when I'm promoting my business on social media, I don't have to worry about having those conversations anymore about, well, I don't have enough money for this class. Is there anything that you can do? Or maybe I'll wait to see if the price lowers, or I don't want to have to pay. I should just be able to go to work go to work and stuff like that. That eliminates that conversation on my end, because I used to get a lot of it, right? And also it eliminates the possibility of anyone feeling like they're losing money. Some people feel like when you have to pay for certain things, it's a scam. Like in this case, because you had to pay for a certification course, a lot of people felt like it's a scam. Well, now you don't even have to feel like that because you don't have to pay for the course, right? And so that was like an issue. So that eliminates that. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my personal opinion. I'm happy that they made that change because it's like, girl, just from an IBO perspective, I do have agents that they enroll into a course and they're not able to finish the course, or they have to drop the course before they've even gotten started. And then I know how much they paid for the course, and I feel bad for them and I try to work with them and try to encourage them to stick it out because they're not going to get their money back, right? And it really sucks when you pay for something and you can't get your money back. We all feel a way about that, right? No matter what we purchase. So I felt bad about that a lot of the time. So now I don't have to feel bad about that anymore personally, because no one has to pay for anything when it comes to enrolling in a course. So those are free. Now, because the certification courses are free, they did implement two other changes to the platform. So let's get into the first one. So background checks. When I first got on the platform, I used to have to pay a background check. I think it was like $10 or something like that. And then over the years, they eliminated the cost of background and it became free. But now it's $30. So they're going to implement that starting September 18th, where, you know, when you register to the platform, you want to enroll in the class or to work on the platform rather, you have to submit a background check. And it's $30. So I don't know if they're still going to go through the third party that they were going through to do the background checks, or if you're going to have to physically go somewhere and get it done. So I'm still trying to find out more information about that. You know, either way is not unusual. I have been in a situation before where I applied for a position somewhere and I had to physically go to the police station and get a background check for. I've had to do that several times. So it won't be unusual if they decide to do it that way. But I really hope, for the sake of those that aren't able to go anywhere to get a background check, that they just keep it the same. And, you know, you do it on the platform and then they just charge you, you know, at that time, the $30, right? So, you know, it is what it is. Companies go through changes all the time. You got to take the good with the bad. We can't have it all our way, because it would just be utter chaos. Like, can you imagine if every single person got their way with a company as far as what policies they had or what procedures they were upholding? Like, can you imagine how chaotic a business would actually be if that were to happen? So that's why companies put policies and procedures in place, because it's like the policy is the policy. If we try to please everybody, then there's no point in having a policy or procedure, right? So I don't see an issue with the background check. I mean, you know, you got to take the latter. I would rather do the $30 background check than pay for a certification class that I may or may not be happy with, right? And then I can't get my money back. So, and at least the background check stays on file for, I think, like a year. So I would rather take that option. You know what I'm saying? If I had to. Another thing that they've changed on the platform, which, y'all, I am so happy about this. And I know this is going to sound crazy, but I'm going to tell you why in a minute. So they've implemented, or they're going to be implementing, a no-show fee, right? From the consumer standpoint, you're probably like, dang, I got to pay some money when I don't show up. But from a business owner standpoint, it's like, yeah. Because do you know how much time it takes for me to get all my stuff together, get you registered? The instructors have to get their stuff together, get their emails out, make sure everybody got their passwords and usernames and all this stuff that goes on behind the scenes when a new agent comes to the platform. When you don't show up, it's a waste of time. You know what I mean? From an IBO perspective, if I have agents that come in and they just sit, but I'm still providing the services, the same services to them that I'm providing to servicing agents who are paying that administrative fee, where's the medium in that? You know what I'm saying? So And that's why I had to change up how I did things with my agents. Like, I have emails that I send out to those who are actually servicing the platform, and then I have information that I send out every now and again to those that are just sitting, right? Because why offer the same services to the two? If there's a administrative fee to the ones that are servicing, why am I providing them that same customer service and same setup as the ones that are not paying? That's not fair, right? So that's how I kind of look at it. It's like I feel like they're trying to eliminate, people just coming to the platform and just taking up space. They're just kind of sitting there in la la land. They're not doing anything, but they have an account. They're going from class to class to class. They're in, they're out, they're in or out. Like, I think they're trying to eliminate that, because that does, from an IBO perspective, that does happen a lot. That happens a lot. Someone, enrolls into a course, and either before the course even starts, they're dropping it, or they'll wait until the first weekend, not show up, then they get dropped anyways. That's a lot of work behind the scenes on both ends, on the administrative side of Arise and the administrative side of the IBO. That's a lot of work. So I completely understand why they implemented this no-show. And I honestly believe that that is what's going to encourage people not to do that. Because if every time you drop a class, if every time I drop a class, I'm getting charged $20, I'm going to stop dropping classes, okay? I'm going to just say, you know what, bump this. I enrolled in this class. I'm going to stick with it, make the best out of it that I can, because it's just a job, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna stick this out, and I'm gonna make my, I'm not gonna pay $20 for not showing up to a course, right? So that's how I feel about it. I feel like it will encourage people to continue through the courses, and I feel like it'll just eliminate a whole lot of foolery on the platform. And that's just my honest opinion, y'all. That's just my honest opinion. The what they're doing now with the platform, I feel like it'll eliminate a whole lot of foolery. Okay. Um, and I'm not even surprised, because this platform started out helping, only being open to people who were disabled, couldn't leave their homes, veterans, things like that. And then they opened it to everyone. You get what I'm saying? So I figured it was just going to be a matter of time where they started making different changes like this, just because I can see what's happening, and through my own experiences and how I think as a business owner, I would probably feel the same way and probably implement those same policies. You know what I mean? Because it just eliminates a whole lot of chaos. Um, Now, the background check, that's a little bit different. But as far as the no-show fee, that's how I feel about that. I'm glad that they made the certification courses free, because that eliminates the whole no refund, people being skeptical about getting into these classes. Now, are you going to get paid during these certification classes? Not in the beginning. That's still the same, y'all. That's still the same. So there's a few weeks that you're going to be in class and you won't make an income. It's not going to be until the end of class, which honestly, the classes come, you start and it's over before you know it. They've made them shorter. Um, these shorter classes compared to the longer classes, honestly, you guys, it's so funny, because some of the shorter classes, I get emails of people saying, oh, I wish the class was longer. But when there were a lot of longer classes, I would get the emails like, oh man, this class is too long, and we're here every day, we're here several weeks, it's almost been a month and a half, and I don't know if I can do this. Child, like I said, you can't please them all. But what I am happy to say is that they made, in my opinion, a lot of positive changes to the platform. I think that they're just trying to eliminate a lot of foolery. They're trying to make it more friendly for people to come on to the platform and not feel away. Because I'm telling y'all, a lot of people felt away about paying for certification. You know what I mean? Which is so bizarre to me, because if you were going to a school for a trade or something like that, in order to provide services as a contractor or what have you, you have to pay for that. I use this example all the time because it's the one I relate the most to when it comes to a 1099 contractor scenario. So as a hairstylist, right, I went to a school where, well, first of all, I was not able to work in a hair salon without a license. Although I knew how to do a lot of the stuff that they teach you in school, I could not provide those services because we're dealing with chemicals, hair color, relaxers, uh, permanent waves, stuff like that. That's chemicals, right? So I couldn't get hired in a salon without having some form of education. So I had to go to school, right? I had to go to cosmetology school. I had to pay for that. I had to pay for my equipment. I had to pay for all those things. But by the time I got into a hair salon, I worked as an independent contractor and I had my license, right? So all of those chemical services I was able to perform because I was well versed on it. I did my education for it, and now I can provide the service. So that's my example of an independent contractor as far as providing your own equipment, paying for your own education, which is everything that I had to do, being responsible for your taxes at the end of the year, tracking your expenses, all of those things, right, as an independent contractor. Same way as like maybe a gardener or something like that, or somebody who provides services through their company but is not necessarily hired on as an employee, because there is a difference. If you guys want more details on the differences of a W-2 employee versus an independent contractor, I encourage all of you guys to go check out the irs.gov website, because that is the most accurate information that you're going to get regarding those two, right? So anyways, I just wanted to come on here and just generally have a conversation with all of these things, about all of these things with you guys, because although these are not as many changes, there's not many changes that has happened to the platform. The ones that were made are very significant, right? So I just wanted to come on here and kind of talk to you guys about those, kind of give you an idea of the types of clients that are on the platform, how you can get started. If you're somebody that is wanting to go with the option number 2 of registering to the platform, which is providing services on behalf of a virtual call center already in the network, I am starting my 4th quarter onboarding process for new agents. So if you like more information, you're more than welcome to visit my website at clstaffingsolutions.com. One more thing before I let you guys go. I want to go back to the equipment topic, because unfortunately you're not able to run a PC scan prior to registering to the platform. You have to register to the platform first. But if you don't want to do that, I do encourage you to visit my website. I do have a document there, a downloadable PDF document that goes into the specifics of the equipment requirements, the minimum equipment requirements that arise once you have. So with that being said, if you've done the PC scan and you didn't pass the PC scan, and it's because you need to upgrade your computer, I want to put you guys onto this company, because I know everybody, listen, ain't nobody rich, okay? I don't care what nobody say. If you got bills, if you've got expenses, you always are in need of a way to save money and to make money, right? So let me put you guys on. Hold on, somebody's calling me. Let me put you guys onto this company, because this is a company that I recommend to anyone who needs a little help as far as purchasing new computer equipment, whether it be for a rise or any other reason. It doesn't really matter. I always recommend this company. It's Work at Home Equipment Solutions. The owner is always running discounts on his equipment. He has everything over there, y'all. Headsets, flash drives, desktop towers, laptops. You can buy the monitors by itself. You can buy the tower by itself. You can pay as you go, make a payment plan. You can finance it, whatever you want to do. And there's no credit check, right? Hey, it is what it is. There's no judging. So that's why I tell you guys about this. I actually had agents in the past, not recently, but in the past, I've had a few agents purchase computer equipment for them so that they can start working on the platform, and there's been no issues. I haven't had any negative feedback from it or anything like that. So I definitely encourage it to you guys. They are very affordable. Most of his equipment is refurbished. A lot of it, there is a section on his website. Oh, excuse me, y'all. There is a section on his website that is specifically for, well, that has computer systems specifically for the Arise platform. Meaning if you purchase one, it's going to be compatible, no questions asked, right? You'll also be able to use the computer for other things as well. So that's why I say that even if you're not looking, I mean, Christmas is coming up. So even if you're not in the market for a computer to necessarily work on the Arise platform, they're still available for other reasons, right? So that's why I'm telling you guys that. And so yeah, we're just gonna, I think that was everything that I wanted to tell y'all in this video. If you guys have any questions, I know somebody requested under an old video that I go live and do like a Q&A. I've never gone live on this channel, not a real live anyway. I tested it out one time for like 2 minutes or something. But other than that, I've never gone live on this channel. To be honest with y'all, I am an introvert. So what scares me about going live is running out of things to talk about. I'm an introvert, and when I talk for a long time, I get tired. I don't feel like talking anymore. Like, it's so weird, right? And that's what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid of going live and then getting so anxious, so nervous that I start stumbling on my words and just, I don't know, y'all, it just really makes me nervous. But I will definitely keep that in mind. I need to encourage myself more to step outside of the box. So that's why it's easier for me to like just do a video like this, because if I mess up, I could just edit it out, you know, which I'm not going to do any editing to this video, but typically that's what I do. If I stumble on my words or something, I'll cut it out or I'll start over or something like that. But when you're live, okay? So that's the only thing that makes me nervous about that. I don't have a problem doing it. I don't mind doing it at all. I just, every time I think about it, it's like I go into this little shell or something. It's like, I don't know. Oh, I need to stop being like that. But yeah, y'all. So anyway, if you have questions that are not pertaining to the rate of pay, okay, because the rate of pay is different for every client. So that's why I never talk about what the rate of pay is, because it's different for every client. It's client specific. So that's information that I normally give onboarding agents when they're coming on and they want a service under my call center or whatnot. I provide them that information, but you never will hear me say specifically what the pay rates are in any of these videos, because it's confidential. But I can say that they have increased. Some of the clients have increased how much they pay. My first client that I serviced on the platform, I was making, at the time, I believe the pay was like $9 an hour. And then, but now that particular client is, I think they're paying like 13 or something. But anyway, but yeah, so there's been a lot of changes to the platform, y'all. I am still enjoying the platform. I mean, it's a job, you know what I'm saying? Are there days where it gets a little frustrating with like technical issues and stuff like that? Yeah, hello, yes. However, there is a support team within the network. You know, we have technical support within the network. Oh, and speaking of, so that's why the platform usage fee happens. Okay, so I forgot to mention that there is a platform usage fee. You're only charged that fee if you service. So if you're just sitting on the platform, they're not going to charge you the fee if you're not servicing. But the fee is because of all the things that they provide on the platform. So like all that additional support within the platform, your quality assurance people, your chat performance facilitators, technical support, support center support, enrollment support, registration support, all of that support, in addition to having access to the different clients that are on the portal, is why you get charged the platform usage fee, right? which is really not a big deal if you're working. Like, you won't even, after a while, like, honestly, when I was servicing under my brother's call center, the platform fee and the admin fee, at first I paid attention to it because, in the first beginning, you're not working as many hours, right? You're doing your mock calls, yada yada yada. So, but then when you start to get into your groove of working, and you're working the hours that you want to work, because you can make your own schedule, okay? You can make your own schedule, so that's a plus. And they provide the scheduling system for you. You don't have to go download it, buy it, nothing like that. So that's part of that platform usage fee. But the fees, after a while of working, I didn't really pay much attention to them, to be honest with you, because at the end of the day, I kind of looked at it as, well, if I was a W-2 employee, I would have stuff coming out of my check anyway, FICA, medical, all that stuff coming out anyway. So that's kind of how I looked at it. I didn't want to get fixated on the fact that I was paying these fees. That was then. Now that I'm an IBO myself, I get why the fees are charged. You know what I'm saying? As a business owner, I totally get it. So it's no issue for me. Some people, it might be an issue depending on what the situation is. For me, it's not an issue at all. I don't even notice it. I charge my own self a fee, even though, because I'm my own agent in my call center. So I treat myself like I treat all my other agents. I charge myself a fee, and honestly, I get charged the platform usage fee anyway. That's going to come out anyways, right? The IBO fees or admin fees are going to vary. It depends on what costing you're working with. But I charge myself my same administrative fee that I charge my agents. I've always done that. I've done that from day one, and I don't even think about it. It doesn't even bother me. As long as I'm able to work enough. If I'm slacking one week, I can pick it up the next week. As long as I'm working enough to do what I need to do here in my house, the fees and all that stuff, I don't really, make that a thing. I don't add that into the situation. I just kind of just ignore it. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I was when I was servicing under my brother's call center. I was just, as long as there wasn't no funny business going on, I wasn't even like paying attention to it. You know what I mean? So yeah, y'all. So anyways, that's enough of me rambling. I think I said everything that I wanted to say. If I missed anything, you guys let me know down in the comments. Say hello to your girl. Leave a comment down below. Oh, how I normally say it, leave a comment down below. Say hello. And I will see you guys on another video. Bye.